What's up, guys? It's been a while since I've done a off the beat vid besides my reviews, and if you guys know, I try to make my channel centered around things that are other than reviews. And I felt like I've been doing too much like Toriko reviews and Green Blood and Hajime no Ippo and Shaman King Flowers and that sort of thing. I haven't really done like an off the beat vid, like a discussion vid. So I thought this was like the perfect time for me to do a recommendation vid, my very first one. It's going to be 666 Satan, also known as Opart's Hunter here in North America. Here's what I can say about it, okay? 666 Satan is a manga written by Seishi Kishimoto. If you guys recognize that last name, you guys are probably, probably know where this is going. Seishi is actually the younger brother of Masashi Kishimoto, who is the author of Naruto. Of course, a very popular manga. And I first came across 666 Satan a couple years ago. I remember I was just Wikipedia something for Naruto. I forget what it was, but I happened to click on Masashi Kishimoto's name on Wikipedia. Then I saw Seishi Kishimoto, and I heard that he was mangaka. So I clicked that, and I heard that his most famous work was this thing called 666 Satan. Now, I didn't start reading it right then and there. I didn't like actually like start going through it until recently, should I say? Until recently, I remember I read the first chapter a while ago. I started it because looked interesting, and then I stopped for a while. And then, some time ago, YouTube user Uber Ikari, you guys might know of him. If you guys don't know, go subscribe to him. Came out with a vid called Anime Manga Recommendations, and he put 666 Satan as one of them. And to my surprise, he actually said 666 Satan is his favorite manga of all time. That caught me a little off guard, because he had been professing his love for Kenshin a lot. And I thought that Kenshin was his favorite manga ever, but it turns out that it's 666 Satan. And, the guy has pretty good taste, so I trusted him and was like, okay, yeah, I can see that this is probably a pretty damn good series. And until almost like a couple days / nights ago, fellow Supernova, my fellow friend, Jason Todd, was actually saying that he had been going through it and thought that it was pretty damn good. So I picked it up, and I've been reading nonstop since around Friday, I want to say. Friday, Thursday. And I'm 30 chapters in, and it's pretty damn good. It's amazing. If I were to give you a brief summary, I can just say that it's basically about this guy named Geo Freed, who has a chance encounter with a girl named Ruby Crescent. And they're on this quest to find out about what happened to Ruby's father, and the world in which they inhabit is dominated by two things. The first thing are these things called Oparts, and Oparts are supposed to be long forgotten artifacts, of course from a long forgotten civilization that has special effects when you use it in a specific way. And Ruby Crescent, of course, her father, he was probably someone famous, and he has something to do with the Oparts, and I don't know much about him yet because I'm only 30 chapters in. But that's the basic premise of the story. It's those two have a chance encounter, and they decide to go on an adventure together, and yeah, that's pretty much it. The world of, like I was saying before, it's dominated by something called Oparts, which are these artifacts that have special effects, and Opart tacticians, which are sort of like the people who use them. Now, one of the things I love about this series is that I get a lot of different vibes from different series in it. For me, it's basically like if Dragon Ball met Hunter x Hunter and Naruto, with a touch of One Piece in there. So, those four series in itself, make for a pretty damn good series. In terms, I'll tell you guys where I'm coming from with that. In terms of Dragon Ball, the chance encounter between Geo Freed, who is the main character, and Ruby Crescent It's sort of like the initial encounter between Goku and Bulma. Goku and Bulma, when they first met, they spent a little time together, and then they set out to find Master Roshi and stuff, right? In this case, they fought like a fox warrior. In such cases, it was similar to how Ruby and Geo met, and the relationship is almost very similar. I certainly got like a very Dragon Ball feel because of that. There are other things too, though. The art style is very reminiscent of Dragon Ball. I really like that art style. It's a mixture between that of Naruto's and Dragon Ball's. So yeah, that was pretty cool. In terms of the artwork, also, there are, if you guys have read Naruto, there are similar character designs. For instance, there's this one character called Kirin in Opart's Hunter, or 666 Satan, and he is actually very similar to a person called Jiraiya. You might know of him in Naruto. He looks very similar. In terms of the hairstyles and such, that's more Dragon Ball oriented. Because it has like the whole like spiky hair, but there's more like strands of hair and stuff, sort of like a Super Saiyan 2, Super Saiyan 3 thing. So that's pretty nice to see. In terms of the action of the series, lot of it is heavily inspired by Naruto. There's a lot of like kunai, but like I was saying before, the Oparts tacticians, the guys who actually use these things called Oparts, these artifacts that have special effects, can do certain things. You got to think of them sort of like the hunters from Hunter x Hunter. That's where the Hunter x Hunter thing comes in. Because if you know anything about hunters from Hunter x Hunter, it's like there's various roles and officiating and occupations that they do, correct? The Opart tacticians are sort of similar. It's sort of like that plus Nen. Like the Oparts, they do like specific things. Like one Opart can cause fire to erupt on grass, and another one can cause cars to materialize out of thin air, and another one can cause magnetism. There are certain effects that these Oparts do, and it really reminded me of like the varied sort of different techniques in both Hunter x Hunter and Naruto, and even One Piece for that matter, with the Devil Fruits and such. Basically, the combat system, how it goes is that basically you have this thing called spirit, right? So spirit is your chakra, your nen, your haki, your ki, your furyoku, your spirit energy. Things, that you're sort of like life energy. The ki from Dragon Ball Z, that's what it basically is. And you infuse this into your Opart, and that's how the effect takes place. Okay. That's how it works on a basic sort of stance. So that's the action. The characters themselves, I mean, Geofreed. There are many characters out there that have pretty bad and horrible pasts and hard pasts. Ruby has lost her father. Geo had grown up all alone ever since he was little. Cross is another character you meet that also had his, he was a devout follower of God. He was in a church, and this, I don't want to spoil too much, but there's something that happens that causes him to lose everyone that he loves. And Jin is another one who had his parents killed allegedly by Geo. Now, I mentioned Ruby. Geo, on the other hand, has this innate entity called Satan within him. Satan is one of the most powerful entities within that world. I'm not going to spoil too much for you because if I do, then it's gonna sort of reveal like the whole big mystery. Okay, and I don't want to do that. But Satan is an entity within Geo. Sort of looks similar. And the thing about this series is that it draws a lot less on traditional Japanese folklore and more on Judeo-Christian beliefs. Judeo-Christian beliefs. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I was gonna say Islam, but I'm not sure. I don't think there's, at least I'm not sure if there's any Islam in there. From what I can tell, it's just Judeo-Christian stuff. There's a lot of Judeo-Christian folklore and mythology intertwined into the series, and Satan is obviously a byproduct of that. And of course, Cross being a follower of God. And Satan is sort of like this entity that is very feared in the Opart's universe. You'll learn more about him in the first 30 chapters where I am. Now, in terms of like where this story picks up, I'd probably say around chapter 26. 26. Yeah, 26. I'd say. There's a specific point in the manga where they visit a city called Entosu City, which is a city covered with this whole steam, with a lot of steam. Just take it at that. I won't say why or not, but you guys will find out later. This is sort of like Toriko's Regal Mammoth arc, the sort of Sasuke retrieval arc in Naruto. The up and coming arc. You know what I mean? The thing that sort of puts it on the map, but not like the definitive arc. Sort of like I would say the 22nd World Tournament in Dragon Ball. That sort of arc. And it happens like pretty early too. So that's always good. In terms of, and I think I've talked about the characters, like how you feel for them, how they have horrible pasts. Is there anything, I mean, I can't say this about the villains though. I mean, each of the villains, like, you really want to hate them. You really want to hate them. And that's good. I love villains that make you just want to string the fucking life out of them. You know what I mean? So that's why I always, those villains are. I would say the villains are pretty solid, at least for the series they're in. The series is 76 chapters long, but each of the 76 chapters is around 30 something pages, so it's pretty long. It's something definitely worth reading. Action is good, characters are good. Right now, I can say that I prefer most of Opart's Hunter or 666 Satan a lot more to what most I've read in most of the big three that I've read today. Especially Bleach. A good sizes of both Naruto and One Piece. So I mean, I don't know what else I can really expand upon. If you guys have any other questions, you guys can leave it in the comments below. Went over the basic plot, told you some of the influences, told you some about the characters, the action, the influences. I mean, I guess I can tell you, I mean, maybe just as a quick conclusion or recap, I guess a good reason to read this series is probably, if you like Dragon Ball, if you like Hunter x Hunter, if you like One Piece, and if you like Naruto, I say if you like one of those four specifically more than the average fan, I think that would be good enough impetus to go ahead and pick this up. You can look at it online. Some of the translations are a little iffy, but that's okay. You should be able to follow along. And there's one thing, right? Okay, so if you're a fan of One Piece and you know about the three ancient weapons, and if you're a fan of Naruto and you know about the Jubi, right? You know how they're like sort of what's the word I'm looking for? Damn, what's the word? They're sort of like titans of humongous power, correct? In this particular manga, around chapter 26 to 30, you get introduced to a certain concept that was going to make you love this series a whole lot more. I'm just gonna ruin it for you guys because, well, no, I'm not gonna. Well, no, I won't ruin it for you guys, but stick with it if you guys don't like it initially. But get to around chapter 26 to 30, and you'll see what I mean between 26 and get to around chapters 26 or 30. Go between then and you'll see what I'm talking about in relation to the Jubi and the three weapons from One Piece. I think that should be impetus enough for you guys. So, yeah, that's my manga recommendation for 666 Satan. Definitely pick it up if you're a fan of shonen in general. If you're looking for something a little more depth, then your average shonen, I think this might be the series for you. So, yeah, that's it for my first manga recommend. Ugh, so off today. My first manga recommendation, guys. And thank you guys for watching. Rate, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, please. And I will see you guys later. And last thing, Piccolo character analysis is coming up. So with that, I will see you guys later. Sayonara.